This isn't just about me. It's about any red-blooded American that decides that they have the gravity to run for office. This should never happen to anybody, and it shouldn't ever happen to a veteran, but it still shouldn't happen to any Americans. I was just, as of this month, awarded my Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal, which essentially justifies all of my claims that I was being honest. All I told them, all I've ever said, is that I served during Operation Enduring Freedom. I was honorably discharged, and I served and flew all over the place, Afghanistan being one of them. And they used a game of wordplay and innuendo to make it sound like I claimed it as if I were like John Rambo and I was kicking in doors and taking hostages and stuff. And, those words have never come out of my mouth.
You actually were a threat in this race against Marcy Kaptur. And then you had the Associated Press and a reporter, James Laporta, who was behind this smear campaign, basically accusing you of doing stolen valor, and it was based on the records that they illegally obtained and didn't tell the full story. And what ended up happening with Laporta is he ended up getting fired or let go from the Associated Press based on, I would say, jumping the gun when it came to Russia-Ukraine reporting. But so there's still some bad blood there, I would say. And so what's the latest with James Laporta, especially now that some more information has come out? You have Politico admitting about even Politico admitting that GOP candidates their military records were improperly released. Politico admits that now, and you have gotten some more documentation to verify what you had said about your time in the military. Yeah. So you're feeling vindicated. What's the spat like with James Laporta now?
I mean, he gets on his little high horse and he goes on Twitter and he gets his little fake bot friends or whatever, and then he'll post something and he'll go after me or whatever. I mean, I feel bad for the guy. He's obviously, suffering from probably he's got Bell's palsy or something. I mean, probably from too many COVID vaccinations. But, I feel bad for the guy, to be honest with you. I've withheld, going after him legally to date. But, that's going to change here in the near term. I'm just looking at, what my options are and what's going to be a distraction and what's not. But, Laporta kept moving the goalpost. And, as a guy that has worked in a highly evolving technical industry, I can tell you that one thing we see is statistics and trends. And there's a trend with James Laporta being credible. And, it's unfortunate we live in an age where these folks want clicks and they want major stories and hit pieces, and they're willing to do, whatever that they need to do to achieve that, even if it is colluding with, a party that is also willing to, go as far as trying to ruin someone's life. I mean, this wasn't just a political attack. This was a personal attack. You don't attack someone's military career, a foundation of normally every veteran who's ever served. It's a foundation of their professional career. You don't attack that with just political aspirations. I mean, I worked 20 years almost in the nuclear power industry, and I can tell you they have a more thorough background check than the AP. And, some pretty important companies in the government trusted me with spent nuclear fuel, which is the most dangerous material that we know on Earth. And, they don't just do that lightly, and they don't do that to guys that lie about their military career.
To that end, I do see that you are getting a little bit more in your tweets. There was a recent tweet about Marcy Kaptur being linked in some way to Jeffrey Epstein, child trafficker. Do you want to tell me about what connections you were making there?
I mean, last campaign I made a whole bunch of connections, and I withheld with the gunslinging, I guess you could say, because Marcy Kaptur's only way of defeating me was to make me come off as this far right extremist, whatever that is. But like you, Christy, I was an independent before the election, and it caused quite a ruckus in the Republican Party because they were a little bit sad that I hadn't, pledged my undying fealty to a party that really cares nothing about me. But I look at, who her major donors are, and it's the Pritzker family. They're highly affiliated with the Epstein, with Jeffrey Epstein. And Marcy Kaptur has been, her only position of power has been chair of the Ukrainian caucus, and she's continually voting and convincing other Ohioans to vote to continue sending money to Ukrainian dredges. I think that she's sent more money to the Ukraine in the past 18 months than she's delivered to her district or her 40-year tenure. And, Toledo has been, again, a hot spot for trafficking. It's been in the top 5 for a number of years now. And I just can't help but try to draw some distinction. Where is this all coming from? What are they doing? Why are they doing it? Again, where there's smoke, there's fire. And, I think it's a lot more plausible to believe that she's operating in nefarious circles than it is me lying, saying that I was killing people on the mean streets of Afghanistan. And so I'm going to, not pull any punches because they didn't pull any punches for me. And so, I'm looking to get back to being more comfortable. I'm not worried about them influencing and halting me getting my military records updated because they're done now. So I'm done being quiet, which has been hard, but I'm gonna continue going after the virtuous truth, and I hope I can inspire other people to do so, like I did when I painted the Trump 2020 logo on my lawn years ago.
All right. And so now I got to hold your feet to the fire a little bit. So, you got some excitement, you got some people ramped up to support you in the last election, unfortunately, because of collusion with the media and the Democratic operatives and their lies. Let's just say it for what it is, that interfered a bit in your election, and who knows what other kind of nefarious things were at play. But so you were ready to take it on again. You were ready to take it up again. Very exciting. And then all of a sudden you said that there was like some family health issues that you needed your attention. So what's going on? What are you going to do? Who's going to fight for us?
Well, I had to drop out of the race because my mother had to have open heart surgery, and it wasn't planned. And last cycle I was knocking doors in Sylvania, Ohio, which I'm sure you know. And I found out my father passed away. So I wasn't going to risk losing, both of my parents on the campaign trail. And also with the nasty attacks that they put out against me last cycle, I didn't want my mother having to face that because she'll watch the news and stand on every edge. And so, right now I'm looking to continue to get my message out. I'm going to continue talking about it as much as I can. And, I've been talking with President Trump and his team ever since the election. I've continued to maintain a really good rapport with him. I've committed myself to helping him get elected. Whatever he needs me to do, I'm here for him. And we've discussed possibilities of me potentially helping him in his administration, or heck, I might jump in and send Marcy off into retirement for good. We could use some fine door greeters at Walmart.
Yeah. All right. Well, make sure you keep us updated so that we can support you in whatever you're doing. We need all hands on deck, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat or not. I mean, that I think is the biggest thing, is like, forget the titles. We're losing our country. Everyone is suffering. That's why it's so crazy about it. It's like you get these crazies on the social media standing up for this decrepit dementia patient. Well, all of us are suffering. It's like, I don't know. It's like Stockholm syndrome. I can't make sense of it. Okay, I don't care if you don't even like the Republican side. Fine. I mean, there's plenty on that side I don't like either. But we have got to all stand up against this tyranny and total banana republic takeover. It's just insane. Our economy's crumbling. You could go on and on. So I can't do that now. But thank you for standing in the gap and for continuing to fight, even in the face of these crazies. And make sure you keep us updated.
I will. And same goes to you. Keep kicking the ass. We need it. Not many people can do it. Keep doing it. I'll be rooting you on from Ohio.
Wonderful. I love that I still have connections back there. My hometown. All right. Thank you, JR.